Well, ladies and gentlemen, it has finally happened. Hollywood has shut down. After months of trying to make it in a new writer's strike, living off of old scripts, Hollywood is now completely forced to shut down because now the actors are on strike as well. This is the first time that this has happened since 1960. What this actors' strikes means is not only can the actors not go to work on movies and TV shows, but they can't even do any press or promotion until the actors' strike is over. This means everything in Hollywood is just shut down. As of today, it's just stopped. They can't do anything else but release the stuff they already have completely completed, which again, the actors cannot promote. This is coming after one of the most turbulent times in Hollywood history, I should say, where we had COVID shutting down theaters, which, as Bob Iger said in an interview today, Hollywood still hasn't completely recovered from. So they were shut down for so long, and then about 2 years after Hollywood was kind of opening back up again, now it's shut down again as the rest of the world moves on. That isn't even to mention all of the money they've lost, not just from COVID, but from all their overspending on their films and the ones that audiences were just disinterested in the video that I made this week covering that as well. It's a scary time if you are a writer or an actor, but it is an exciting time if you're watching the entertainment industry, because unfortunately, if you're an actor and you're a writer, you're going to have to live without work for a long time. And as the industry keeps saying that these demands that the writers and actors are putting on are just too much, well, it seems that they might even be trying to starve them out until they give in. But why are the actors and writers striking? Well, it has to do with a lot of different things. The reason why it's heated up so much this year, I think, is because of AI. That is a huge thing that writers and actors are afraid of, because in an industry that especially lately has been cutting corners so much, they are worried that instead of AI being a tool that is used in the industry, that it's just going to replace people. Like the idea that AI could be used to capture an actor's likeness and then just have AI portray that actor in various things going forward, with the actor not doing anything but having themselves being copied. Not to mention, writers are afraid of being replaced by AI just to cut corners and make stuff for them, which actually scares me because I don't think that AI is going to fix any of the problems with writing in Hollywood. We'll get back to that part in a minute. Another thing that has really brought on these strikes is streaming services and the amount that mid-tier writers and actors are paid. It used to be that you could make a pretty decent living. It was still very difficult, but you could make a decent living as an actor or a writer if you starred in TV shows, because they would pay you residuals from ads. But in the age of streaming, Hollywood opted not to give people residuals anymore, even though a lot of streaming models still play ads with certain tiers. And another big thing that has happened, and I didn't know about this until this morning, but apparently the rates that somebody gets paid as an actor have never been adjusted for inflation. So that makes it even harder for someone to make a living as an actor. Actors and writers are also upset with streaming service model that the seasons of shows are usually very short these days, and that makes it harder to get work. So these are very big things right now, and studios don't want to buckle in because they want to keep maximizing profits for themselves, and it is a very different model of streaming and TV, to be fair, so it makes it not such a simple change. Like, for example, earlier this year, there were actually reports coming out that they were close to closing a deal with the Writers Guild of America, but that Netflix thought that it was going to completely change their business model, so that they held that back. I would like it to take a minute to address something that I know a lot of you might be typing out already, is that a lot of people think that the reason that these strikes are going on for so long is because Hollywood wants to purge all the bad writers. Now, of course, I've talked plenty on my channel about how I'm very, very unhappy with a lot of the content coming out from Hollywood these days, if not most content, and I think that it comes back to bad writing and bad direction. But I have to say that I think it is really naive to think that Hollywood is doing this because they want to purge their bad writers, because with that, you're pretending as if it has not been in these executives' control this entire time of who they hire as writers. There are just countless people banging at the doors of Hollywood, wanting to get work, wanting to get paid. So many writers out there. There is an endless pool. You are never stuck with writers. The problem is who the executives of Hollywood have been hiring. For example, people get mad at the way Star Wars has been handled. Did you know that the writer of Toy Story 3 was going to handle The Force Awakens, and he wrote a story about how Luke and Han and Leia were going to go on an adventure, but the executives at Disney didn't like that because they wanted to push the new characters, so they fired that Toy Story 3 writer and got someone else in who would obey them. So that's what I want to say in this little video, that you can't just say that the writers have been holding the executives at the stake and that all the problems with the industry are from the writers. No, the problem with Hollywood is not from the writers. The problem is the executives. It is a complete executive problem and who they're hiring and how they're working with them. One of the conditions for the Writers Guild is that they want writers to be able to work more closely with the executives to bring these shows to life, so that writers actually understand how movies and TV works, because most of the time, if not all the time, writers don't even come to set. They don't even understand what they're writing for. So it's scary times, to be sure, very turbulent times, but I think that with Hollywood, with the elites, they have been really destroying their own industry for so long, and it's very interesting to see them finally with the knife to the throat, so to speak, so that now they have to make changes to how things are done. Things are definitely going to change on multiple fronts with how the workers are treated, with what kind of movies and shows come out, and maybe this won't all end well, but no matter how it turns out, it's going to have some major change for the industry, and that's what I really want to see. I want to see how we're going to come out on the other side, what it's all going to look like. But I'm actually very happy that this happened. I feel for the actors right now, the mid-tier actors. By the way, this is not about the top-tier actors that get tens of millions of dollars. This is about the mid-tier working class actor who gets paid job to job, and they kind of need residuals to survive. So that's who this strike is all about, and I really feel for them not getting work for a while. I hope the best outcome of this comes out, but I think that when an industry has gone so wayward, they need to be shut down. They need to be punished, so to speak, so that positive change can happen. So that's what I got for you guys. What do you think about Hollywood shutting down? What do you think the outcome is going to be? Let me know in the comments below. As always, you can support me on Patreon, watch my own short films in my playlist, and like and subscribe, and I'll see thank you Patreon Jay, as always, for supporting me on Patreon, and I'll see you guys next time.